Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I'm Winda Lutfianti, a lecturer of English Literature Department from STB Ajia, Bekasi. Thank you for having me as one of the presenters in the 20th KOLITA, Konferensi Linguistik Tahunan Atmajaya. I'm feeling so honored to be part of this conference. In this occasion, I'd like to share the result of my research in 2019 titled Movie Discussion Club, a teaching model to improve integrated skills in English. It is a product of research and development in the form of teaching model. There are 4 main points that I'd like to describe: introduction, methodology, analysis, and conclusion of the research. For the introduction, started from the background, the reason why I was interested in developing teaching model is the result of need analysis. Even campus provide several courses of English skills, such as listening, reading, speaking, writing, along with grammar and vocabulary. They are learned separately, while the result of that analysis showed that English learners in STB Asia need more opportunity to practice several skills at once or practicing their integrated skills. Why movies? From previous research, it showed that learning English from movies is entertaining and motivating, and also uh, it stimulates a genuine and authentic communication. Next, why is teaching model? Based on observation and reference study, I thought teaching model is the best product that I can offer as a solution of the needs in STB Asia. For the objectives, there are 3 objectives of the research: to know the need of learners, to know the appropriate teaching model, and then to design and develop movie discussion club, a teaching model to improve the integrated skills. For the reference, I refer to Bordwell, Thompson, and Smith related to movies. And then I refer to Stoller, Allen et al. Related to the use of movies in learning English. And then for integrated skills approach, I refer to Brown, Oxford, Ching, Junyo, and Kijai. And then for teaching model, I refer to Joyce, Whale, and Calhoun. I use 6 fundamental elements later to design and develop the teaching model. For related research, here are some researchers that I use as a reference. Bastia is talking about integrated skills, and then research related to discussion, and then movies, and also integrated skills. Next is the methodology. So this research was conducted in STB Asia. There are 18 freshmen participated in this research. And then for the procedure, initially, Borg and Gall mentioned 10 stages of research and development, but Winarti mentioned that the researcher can modify the stages, depends on the needs of the research. So I modified it into 7 stages. First, I analyze the need, doing reference studying the reference, and then started developing the product, and then use the product to be tested in preliminary field testing, and then revise it, asking for expert validation, and then revise it again until it was perfected into a final product completed with guidebook. And for data collection and data analysis, I gather the data from the interview, asking the learners and policymakers about their target needs and product needs. And then the data were also gathered from observation in preliminary field testing by observing the learners. And then from expert validation by distributing a questionnaire to the policymakers asking about 6 elements of teaching model. Next is analysis. So here are the findings from the analysis related to target situation analysis, and then what the learners want, and then what the learners need to learn, and then the present situation, how the learners think about their own competence at that moment, and then the obstacles related to their learning. Next is related to the products. I asked several questions about central goal, and then the model structure and sequence, and then what kind of reaction the learners expected from the teacher or lecturer during discussion. Then I started to develop the teaching model by using 6 elements of teaching model I mentioned previously. And then I used the product or the draft in preliminary field testing. So for the first movie play, they watched Nosedive. It scored 2.33. It was poor because there were some problems with the schedule and then technical problems, and the learners were anxious at that time because it was the first time they joined movie club. And then for the second movie play, I played Ready Player One. It scored 3.17. I found that learners were still struggling in discussion. And then the third movie play is The Prodigy, scored 3.33. They were getting better in participation. And then for the fourth movie play, Home, it scored 3.33. And I found that the learners were more enthusiastic and expressive in sharing their ideas or opinion. And then the last movie play is Dr. Sleep. It scored 3.67. It was considered good. From the observation, I found that they were getting better and in expressing themselves, and then they were also getting better in comprehending or understanding spoken and written language. So basically there was improvement in their integrated skills. The result of this testing and the observation were used to revise the product. And then after that, I asked for expert validators to check the elements of the teaching model. Here are the results. From the focus, it was considered very good, and then syntax was very good, but the principle of reaction was considered poor, and then social system was good, support system good, and then application context is very good. Next is second revision. So I revised based on the suggestion of the expert validators. So in general, from the focus, the first element, there was no change. For the syntax, there was no change in main aspect, main commentaries, or model sequence. And then for principle of reaction, there was a little revision related to correct answer of the students or learners. And then for social system, during pre-watching, while watching, and post-watching, there was no change. And then for support system, both media and club, there was no change. And then for application context, there was no change. Next, the final product. The final product is the result of several revision I mentioned before, and it was completed by the guidebook. Here is the guidebook from the cover, and then the content, develop teaching model, discussion club, and then for the mapping, the elements of teaching model, and then for in details, I explained what focus is, and then the syntax related to model structure, and then model sequences. As you can see here, there are 4 types of model sequences, and then principle of reaction, and then social system, support system for both media and club. And then the last one is for application context. So in conclusion, the needs of English department freshmen is in STB Asia is improving integrated skills, and then the appropriate teaching model is movie discussion club, and then that movie discussion club teaching model consists of 6 elements: syntax, focus, principle of reaction, social system, support system, and application context. For suggestion, it is expected that the campus can support a movie discussion club that was held once a week, and then consider integrated skill course into campus curriculum. And then for the lectures, I hope that the lecturers can integrate several skills at once in their teaching and learning process, and then allow an encouraging and critical discussion. For the other researchers, you may study further on integrated skills and movie discussion, and also develop similar applicable teaching model, or probably other product for teaching. Here are the references that I use. Okay. So that's all. The explanation that I can share related to my research. I hope that the result of this research can contribute in my field of interest, English language teaching. I think that's it from me. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for KOLITA for having me. Once again, thank you so much. I hope I can see you again in another conference. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.